I did want to ask you about the chapter on insight because I think it challenged one of our cultural assumptions that understanding ourselves is about endlessly analyzing our stories, but it's also recognizing that many of our stories aren't fixed truths. How does your research explain that shift? And I'm not sure if this is better for Richie or for Cort to answer.
Court should take the first crack at it.
Yeah, I'm happy to start this off. So it's a really important distinction that in many ways you could think about insight as the capacity to see all of the influences on your experience in the present moment, and in particular, your sense of self. So the way you see yourself, the way you see the world. And we tend to have thoughts, kind of narratives, stories running through our minds. Of course, we have emotional reactions. And these are all shaping how we experience things. But oftentimes we just see them as reality. You could take something as simple as you wake up and maybe you forget to have your cup of coffee in the morning, or you didn't get a good night's sleep. And then you go about your day, you go to work, and you're just a little irritable. And it kind of seems like the world is just a little more annoying that day. Objectively, it has nothing to do with the fact that you didn't have your coffee or you didn't get enough sleep. It just objectively seems as though people are actually annoying that at that point. So insight in a situation like that, it could be as simple as just noticing, oh, I here's this circumstance from my life. It's causing me to overly focus on the negative, and it's making it more difficult for me to see positive things about people and situations. And it's not necessarily true or real. It's just a perception that is shaped by these influences. So that's a relatively mundane example, but you can go back to your family upbringing, even things about our biology, the stories we've told ourselves our whole lives, and just beginning to disentangle all of these influences from the perception to see that the way we experience things is in many ways a construction. And that becomes incredibly a very inspiring inner exploration. I think Richie mentioned the findings with gamma oscillations and the ability of people like Mingyur to generate insight and to sustain that over time. And this is exactly what we're talking about. It's like these moments where you might have an epiphany in your life, and usually it's just a flash and you might remember it years later, but we can't sustain it. And usually we don't know how to get back to it. And this is the skill and the art of learning to generate those kinds of insights and then to immerse ourselves in them so we can carry them with us into all the difficult moments and everything else in our lives. So Richie, I don't know if you want to comment on the research and some of what we're doing in terms of the science, but it's a really fascinating, it's kind of a blind spot actually in research, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to focus on it.
Just to say that there really is very little serious empirical research on insight, and yet it is such a key pillar. And it's important to point out that two of the pillars in our four pillars are commonly found in almost every other conceptual framework for understanding well being. And those two pillars are connection and purpose. The awareness and the insight pillars are really unique, and they're not found in any other framework that we know of for understanding well-being. And this is a unique contribution from our connection to the contemplative traditions, which really highlight the importance of these for human flourishing.